Now, emergency services have confirmed that twin girls aged 3 were killed when a bus caught fire in the Eastern Free State.
22 children were on board at the time. The bus was travelling on the N3 between Warden and Harrismith when it burst into flames. EMS spokesperson Chris Buerta says 2 people, including the bus driver, have been taken to hospital in a critical condition.
4 other people sustained serious injuries, whilst 17 children had minor injuries. The bus belonged to a local primary school.
Now for an update, we now cross live to our reporter Richard Newton live at the scene of the accident. Good evening, Richard. Now, is the death toll still at 2? And what's the condition of those injured?
Yes, good evening. Well, yes, it's the tragic loss of those twins, aged 3, still smashing through this community, rocking people here. And at the hospital where we are now, the Tebe Hospital in Harrismith, there have been 3 people that have been admitted. 2 of them, their condition is described as critical and 1 as very serious. And then, of course, about 15 learners received treatment for minor injuries at the hospital today.
Richard, do we know how the bus caught fire?
Well, we've spoken to some of the parents who obviously have spoken to their children about what happened. And there seems to be a consensus that the bus appeared to be having some kind of mechanical problems, whereafter some of the kids said the engine seemed to burst into flames. But of course, there has to be an official investigation, and hopefully that will shed more light on what led to this absolute tragedy here in the Eastern Free State.
Now, speaking of an official investigation, have authorities alluded to what might have happened? Have they said anything at this stage?
Well, at the scene, we saw the investigators taking photographs, doing their measurements and so on. Obviously, this is a process that will take a bit of time. And obviously, at the moment, the children, all of them still here at the hospital with their parents, with their teachers, getting some moral support. A lot of them still deep in shock. We'll also have to speak to the investigators. And I think it's a process that may take a while before we get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for the update, Richard. That was our reporter, Richard Newton.